Well, this turned out to be a big week for stickers. Hey, just in time for Halloween, we got the Illinois Ghost Hunters. See what they did there? Abraham Lincoln's a ghost. 8 Flying Creations. The Tulsa Mini Maker Fair. Huggy Bear's Den. Wait, I remember Huggy Bear. Who remembers Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch? Mono Loco Workshop. I like that one. Regan's Woodworking and Wood Turning, checking in from Down Under. That's my sticker. And finally, my Woodworking World. Thanks everybody for sending me the stickers. And don't forget, if you want a Woodworking from Your Immortal sticker, just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I just sent out another batch this week, so if you sent me an envelope a few weeks ago, you should be getting your sticker right about now. Thank you all who participated in the Magic 10 campaign last Saturday. That was a lot of fun. It was fun seeing everybody's pictures, and we raised quite a bit of money for the Make-A-Wish campaign. I think $800, $1,000 almost. Most of those were $10 donations, so it was really great to see that level of involvement. There's still 2 weeks left, so encourage everybody you know to just make a plane out of anything they want. Tell them to get creative and post it over there. A guy made a plane out of pork chops. A really cool one, a guy made out of computer parts like RAM boards. Anyways, there's no rules. Post whatever you like. Love to see them over there. Get involved. You guys ready for Halloween? I think Halloween is just one of my favorite times of the year. It's just so much fun, and I hope you enjoyed the machete. The early reviews seem to be pretty positive on the video. Couple of questions I had more than once was, why did I make this out of one piece of wood instead of just making the blade and then sandwiching 2 pieces for the handle? Thought about doing that, but remember, this is just a prop. It doesn't really need a whole lot of accuracy. It just needs to look cool. I've got a few tips though. If you decide you're going to make a machete prop like these, it'll help make it look more realistic. First of all, the blood. And I learned this by watching Rob Zombie movies like Halloween 2, is that the blood he uses is almost black, and I think that realistic blood really isn't all that red. In fact, I probably could have gone even a little bit darker. Secondly, avoid making the blade color shiny. Avoid chrome or silver colored paints. I experimented with a few different ones, and this is a Rust-Oleum hammered dark bronze. Third, the thing that's going to make it look realistic is to put some sort of a beveled edge on there, because that really catches the light in different ways and it makes it look more like a blade rather than just a toy. Overall, it was just a ton of fun to make these, and it was a lot of fun to make the video. All of which has me thinking I could sure go for a jellyfish hamburger. But you know, making your own Halloween props can be really rewarding, because look at this. This is the Jason mask I used. It's this flip, and this was the best one I could find. I went to the party store, you know, and I thought surely they're gonna have a cool looking Jason mask. This is the best one I could find. It even says, you know, it has like all the copyright information down here on the edge of it. The only other one they had was a hockey mask, which was just bright white plastic that didn't look anything like the Jason mask. And I thought about using that and just painting it to look like Jason's mask, but the mask itself was small and just, it looked dorky. Back here I duct taped in a board to keep this part stiff, because otherwise when you pull this part in, the whole top would just collapse and then it just looked really dumb. I really don't have a lot of woodworking stuff to report on this week, so I thought since Halloween is coming up, it would be fun for me to give you a list of some movies, but not a list of my absolute favorite scary Halloween related movies. But what I want to focus on this week is a list of movies that you've probably never heard of that you really should check out. I'm pretty sure all of these are available on either Netflix or Amazon or Hulu. The first one I want to mention is called Suicide Theory from Australia. There's a lot of really good movies coming out of Australia lately, but Suicide Theory is about a guy who is basically immortal and he can't be killed, and yet he wants to die, and his relationship with the guy he hires to try to kill him. Sort of a psychological thriller, not really a horror movie, but really well done. I love zombie films, but the only zombie film I've got on this list is one called Dead Outside, and it's from the UK. It's kind of a dark, brooding, atmospheric atmospheric film. Low budget, just a couple of main characters in it. Check it out. If you are a fan of The Twilight Zone, check out Enter Nowhere. Another small, low budget film with a very small cast. It's about 3 people who find themselves in a cabin in the woods and don't know who they are or how they got there. You're gonna love the twists in it, kind of like The Sixth Sense, those types of twists. Oh, and speaking of cabin in the woods, and I wasn't sure if I should put it on this list, is Cabin in the Woods, because it's sort of a bigger budget movie than these, and you may have heard of Cabin in the Woods, but it's Joss Whedon's movie that's sort of a satirical look at horror movies. It has some sci-fi elements. It's a very odd, weird film, but it's thoroughly enjoyable and just a whole lot of fun to watch. And speaking of super fun horror movies, check out Hatchet 2 and Hatchet 3. They remind me of old school Friday the 13th style horror movies, but updated to where these films aren't taking themselves seriously and are so over the top, gory and silly. They're just so much fun. Plus, Victor Crowley is played by Kane Hodder, who played Jason. And both Hatchet 2 and 3 had Danielle Harris in it, my favorite Scream Queen. You've probably heard of Unfriended, which is an original style of movie that takes place all on computer screens. But the movie I actually enjoyed more that's similar to that is called The Den. It's about a college girl who's doing a research project in which she spends days or weeks online, 24 hours a day, cameras constantly pointed at her, and she makes some very disturbing discoveries. My #1 recommendation for a film you've probably never heard of, but you have to check out for Halloween, The Babadook. This is another atmospheric Australian movie. It's about a single mother and her little boy, and the little boy is having a lot of emotional problems. Is he seeing a monster called the Babadook, or isn't he? This movie has some really creepy, disturbing moments. Overall, the entire movie is so well done. Don't miss The Babadook. And that's my list of movies that probably slid under your radar. You guys know how much I love horror movies, and this is the time of year when I watch a lot of them. So I really want to hear your recommendations. Try to stump me on films that I probably haven't heard of or I haven't seen. Leave them down in the comments so I can check them out. There's kind of a revival in small, low-budget horror right now, and a lot of them are very good. Usually they're just direct to video, but they're just as good as anything that you would pay money at a theater to see. So that's all I've got this week. Next week I'll give you my absolute favorite horror movies. A little sneak preview. My favorite Friday the 13th movie is Part 6, Jason Lives, followed by Jason X. I'll see you guys next week.